Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 28th, it's December, it's 2024, and it's the Sabbath, and I am fasting today. Water. Water. And I'm hitting a church tomorrow and getting baptized of water once more tomorrow. Because the last time I did it, I don't know, the motive behind the people just didn't seem pure, if that makes any sense. But it is what it is. But here's the deal. I happen to be in Louisiana, and this is a really strange thing because I'm in Louisiana, and apparently so is this.
All right, everyone, welcome back. December 28th, 2024, a major tornado outbreak warning for today for Louisiana and Mississippi. That will be ground zero for most of the brunt of these expected tornadoes. We've been talking about this for 2 days now, and this area has been getting slammed for 2 days ahead of this potential storm, and you know what that means, specifically if you follow my channel. All right, before we go any further, take a look here. We are at current time right now on December 28th, already starting to form. This moisture has been pulled in all night from the Gulf up into these areas of eastern Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and now Arkansas. Now you're going to watch the severe weather kind of peel up in a diagonal line, and what that means is the tornadoes will likely span off on the southern edge of this system, putting them, as we said, more in Louisiana and Mississippi for the first part of this event. And then as time moves on, you see the center of the low pressure system right here at the western edge of Kentucky and Tennessee. Now again, underneath this, the southern side will be where we see most of the tornadoes, even peeling off on this diagonal wall here, which means that eventually these tornadoes and severe weather will move into Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, and then more of a northeast diagonal pattern as this moves up towards the Great Lakes, pulling moisture from the Gulf up into this area the entire time. The whole southeast is under this warning today. So it's not easy to see where this thing formed and where it's going to go, eventually possibly peaking as a nor'easter over the Great Lakes, pulling in that moisture, hopefully with some warmer temperatures, no snow or anything like that, unless you get up towards Canada. So hopefully that's how this plays out. But again, the important part here is what's going to be taking place in the next couple hours. And that is right here in the good old Gulf Coast states. All right, and as we take a look at the day one convective outlook chart, you can see this is not a storm you're used to seeing this time of year. In fact, the last time we got a storm of this nature was back in April and May during those anti-cyclonic tornadoes we were seeing in Oklahoma and Texas, and now we have this to deal with. Take a look at the tornado percentage, 15% within the Louisiana and Mississippi areas. That's even bleeding off into Alabama, and as we showed in the tropical tidbits chart, this storm wants to shoot up in this direction, peeling those tornadoes off on the southern edge. This will also be carrying significant wind, as you can see here in this 30% area covering multiple states, and with that naturally comes our hailstorms, which is a very, very wide area today, which includes much of eastern Texas. All right.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. That's exactly where I want to be. If you've ever been to Louisiana, I'm in an incredibly flat area. Flat area. Nothing to protect me. No tree lines. No nothing. It is what it is. But I want to show you some stuff that I caught last night with the Nikon P950. This is pretty interesting because these are powers and principalities, in my humble opinion. These are some still frames I caught last night. And this is the same entity, but you can see that it's changing colors quite rapidly. These are just still shots from the actual video I took. But let me show you the video, because this is crazy. So let me remind you that this is on a tripod. I'm not touching it. It's zoomed almost all the way out, but I'm not touching it. And it's just moving all over the place and rapidly changing colors, and whatever it is has a definitive six-sidedness to it. A six-sided. An octagon. No, not an octagon. A septagon. But yeah, that's it. Moving around all on its own, man. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. But also, let me show you a couple of other things that some of my subscribers have dug up before people fall for the alien invasion, because that's where we're going. That's what we're doing here. Now, this is a spacecraft called the Repulsion Type B. It happened at 1200 RPM when with a snapping sound, the machine broke loose from 6 1/4-inch bolts that connected it to the ground. And then, with a soft whining sound, it took off with a blue glowing fog emerging from the machine. Yeah, this was quite a long time ago, and this would be a UFO. And the person that built it, Victor Schauberger, near the end of World War II, was using the secret teachings of Pythagoras. How many times have I talked about Pythagoras over the years? It was the knowledge of implosion. And these guys built this. They built it, and it worked. There's another picture of the Nazi. Another picture, another picture, another picture. But let me show you what a U.S. soldier caught. I'll leave links below for this. But in 1940 to 1945, Victor Schauberger built the Repulsion A and B. An Austrian forester who observed the effects of nature, especially of water, privately met with Hitler in 1934 to discuss the fundamental principles of agriculture, forestry, and water. While Hitler was impressed with him, he basically said, yeah, I want you to build me a UFO. Long story short. But here's two different diagrams. Here's another one. And there's another one. But this is the one that's important. An American military plane saw a dark red UFO at 15,000 feet over Utah, and the pilot took this photo in 1966. No official explanation has been offered, but that's basically what it is. Long story longer, this stuff's been around for a long time. We're talking 1934, and it's now 2025. You see what I'm saying? These guys know how to do this. This is old school. It's old school, old school, old school. But what I just showed you, the stars in the sky, I believe those to be powers and principalities. Because the more Satan and his minions mess around on this earth down here, the more the powers and principalities are going to be paying attention. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't let them fool you, people. Do everything you can to connect with God. Read the Bible. Read Confusion in Christianity, because it helps you understand the Bible. It does for me, at least. And fast. Fast. Today's the Sabbath. I'm observing the Sabbath. I don't understand why I'm getting baptized on a Sunday, but it is what it is. I don't know enough about church to understand that, but it is what it is. But that's what I'm doing. Unless a tornado takes me away, at any rate. Here's a video one of my subscribers in Louisiana actually caught. This is exactly what I was videotaping with the Nikon P950. Hopefully you can see this really well. Well, you can't, and I can't figure out how to make it larger, but it is a wheel within a wheel. If you go over to my TikTok, you can look at it easier and then upload it or whatever. At any rate, I'm out.